Hi there. This is Charlie Destries, and I thought I'd spend a few minutes going over a vision that I have regarding the pharmaceutical industry and where we are right now. To kind of get a perspective on things, now I've been in the industry for 30 years, but this industry's been around for thousands of years. The health, the medical, the treating the diseased and injured industry. And the whole goal of most of that time has been to cure disease, not to treat it, but to cure it. And, again, I'm not knocking the fact that we've made great strides in treating some diseases that are quite difficult to cure. But I think we've lost our way a little bit in that is what we try to do, is to basically treat, not to cure, to have someone sustain, but not to cure the illness or injury. And part of that is because we don't have the technology to do it, or not yet. Well, we're close. Or we basically had some greed over the last several decades. See, in most board meetings, the question wasn't, how do we make a pill that somebody could take once a year that'll take care of them, or once a month? It was once a day. And if it was twice a day, even better. Because it meant, people would buy more. So, so I'm sure there'll be people that'll say, oh, that's crazy. I mean, the dose response level, the dosage required, you couldn't do it all in 1 month. You'd kill the person. You have to do it piece by piece over time. Whatever the argument is. The point is, we're now ready to cure. Because we're tired of treating cancer. We're tired of basically spending $1 billion on a drug that adds 19 days to someone's life. Not minimizing those 19 days. Trust me, I've been through it. I understand it. But there's a cause and effect, and there's a balance, and there's a bang for your buck. And right now, I think we're going to enter a time in biotechnology and medicine that will be in the books for the next many centuries as an age of amazing accomplishments. What we're doing in stem cell therapy is just nothing short of amazing. And now, I really knew only the surface of the story last year. I started diving into this in the last 6 months. I'm hooked. It's amazing. When I said that most of my career has been spent serving the biopharmaceutical research community to help treat diseases, well, that's where I've spent most of my time. But when, at my age, I'm in my late 50s, at my age, I can say that I might even benefit from some of the accomplishments and breakthroughs in the stem cell therapy world. Is astonishing. See, this industry is here to cure, not to treat, to replace injured tissue, to fix something that's broken, to replace something that's dying. It's a giant leap from treat. But we've been through a long way to get here, right? My goodness, when I was born in 1954, Watson and Crick broke the code. So, some stuff went on in molecular biology, but, we didn't have the tools or the knowledge yet to really make gigantic strides until, of course, late in the 20th century. But biology did move on. Hybridoma biology. My goodness, the ability to do cell culture, understanding antibodies, looking at mass spectrometry and its amazing penetration into large molecules. NMR, what that's doing right now. The Genome Project, late 80s, early 90s, that went through the rest of the century. Proteomics, genomics, metabolomics, systems biology, all these things that have really blossomed in the last 25 years have gotten us to this point where we're facing something that's been with us for a long time. Cells that can actually do stuff on their own. Okay, maybe a little bit of prodding, but wow, the power in those cells. Here's what I think. You know, if there was a bunch of scientists over here and a bunch of scientists over here, and a UFO spaceship landed amongst both those groups, and one of those groups decided to spend all their time and money trying to understand what made that UFO fly. But the other group of scientists, they spent all their time and money deciding to try to figure out how to fly it. How to fly that UFO. It's kind of like what we have with stem cells. It's a wild, wild west. There's goods and bads. There's, medical tourism out there where people go to India or Germany or wherever for a shot of stem cells in the brain. And then you've got the real legit stuff. And I'm not saying they're not legit, but, there's some controversial sides to what's happening in the Wild, Wild West. But the Wild, Wild West eventually turns into a sophisticated machine, which is what I think the cell therapy group is going to happen. The whole stem cell therapy marketplace is blossoming. They are the ones that are deciding to take that UFO and learn how to fly it. Later, they'll try to understand it, but they're going to learn how to fly it because the last 50 years, we've spent a ton of time trying to understand it, but we really haven't flown it. It's time to fly it, and that's where the whole stem cell therapy world is. They're flyers. So what'll catch up behind it is a massive industry of people trying to understand it. Folks in genomics and proteomics and epigenetics, people who are looking at the effect of environmental factors on why a particular cell divides a certain way. Why are there abnormalities if the genetic code is perfect? There are amazing things that the group behind these pilots will invent and discover. But make no mistake, the major heavyweights of stem cell therapy that will help cure and fix for the rest of time for the human race, the giants are unknown today. I mean, there have been wonderful people that have, predecessed and created the foundation for the science for this. But the real giants of this industry, they're just getting started. So hold on, fasten your seatbelts, and look up, because they're flying. This is Charlie Destries, Summer Seminar Series from my intergalactic headquarters in Buffalo, New York. See you later.